Welcome back. I'm Fiona Mboa here at Touch of Uganda Family TV with Ring Diaries, where we talk about anything and everything to do with marriage. And today we're talking about managing our emotions in marriage. And before we went for the break, we're seeing how communication is an important factor as we manage these emotions.
That's right.
And I want to understand, who should communicate? The one going through the emotion, or you, the spouse?
Who should communicate? Who should
I'm
communicate?
the angry one.
You are the
Should Mr. Mboa learn to come and talk about it, or I should be the one to talk
I think
about it?
both of us can talk about it, but that's when actually I remember empathy has come in when we are talking about this. Imagine us getting angry and one of us is throwing things, or one of us is projecting onto the children, because certain times we get angry and we fail to manage these emotions, and then we call it projection and displacement. Displacement is when you look out for a less risk figure and then you spill over.
If I can't beat you, let me beat the
If I can't beat Mr. Bwaga,
let me beat
kanonye
the
Zion,
child.
kuba ye talina kyajja kunkola, because omanye noona abikola bijja kutabukira. That's displacement. So any of us can reach out, because I can, maybe you are the one who is angry, I can be like, mukwano, leero wanyize nnyo TV wajasiza. You get that? Can be like, mukwano, leero wanyize TV wajasa. I'm affected, because both of us are affected in a way. I'm the first one to be directly affected because of your anger or any emotion you're struggling with. So I can be the one to come and be like, mukwano, I think leero onyize nnyo. Kisussa amagirasi gaweddemu mu nnyumba, buli kimu kiweddemu, like that. Or if you trust yourself, you who feels that emotion, especially
come
if
out
you
and say, but I feel I've not been heard.
especially like we say, if you've been able to recognize it and like, this is the emotion in the moment, I feel angry or I feel sad.
So can I tell Mr. Mboa, by the today I'm angry, first leave me alone?
Yeah, you
Give me
can.
some time.
Yeah, and it depends on how you bring it out. Because sometimes what is making you angry, it's not even related to your marriage. It could be a work issue. Recently, I had a wellness training, and I was talking about psychological safety, like creating a safe environment for all of us at work. You spend most of your time at work. So if things happen at work and the environment at work is toxic, because there are some of us who work in really tensious environments, toxic environments, you are carrying all that energy, you are bringing it at home. If you don't know how to manage those emotions you're carrying from there, and you come and talk to your partner and you be like, mukwano, because you can just reach at home, the children are hugging you, you are pushing them. Your husband is hugging you, welcoming you, pecking you, you don't want. And then you're also making them angry, you're also making them wonder. They don't know what happened. So take the honor on yourself and communicate to your spouse and tell them, and
today boss
and it's not about you, but I'm just carrying this energy. And in that way, that's why the Bible tells us, carry each other's burden. When you tell me, I'll not blame myself that, oh, maybe she's angry because you leave someone wondering, she's angry because of me. And that's when the silent treatments come in. Because
you're not talking
kale. East to west, until the morning comes. And then you're like, what's wrong with this marriage? But yet what is bothering the marriage?
It's not even related
to the marriage. It's somewhere. So the ability to communicate your emotion and be like, Annie, we are in appraisals. We all know that appraisals at work, they are tensions. So communicate, mukwane. We are into that period, you know it. So sometimes when you see me as if I'm off,
just
understand it's not about you. When you have a reasonable spouse, that's when they will be able, actually, probably those are the days you come back and when they have made for you already a cup of tea.
And just make your day.
They are trying to understand. They are empathetic, coming into your shoes to know what you are carrying.
And make you feel better.
Making you feel better. That's when they are able even to give you a massage. Or like prepare a meal, you know that you... This is your marriage. Enjoy it. Do whatever it takes to enjoy this marriage.
And enjoying it comes with all the work.
With the work. You can't just say, I do massage. I prepare tea for this woman. Be a TV, be about Mokwano. No wonder tonyumirwa. because you're not willing to do these things, you know. So communicate your emotions. If it is sadness, you've lost, maybe the person you lost is not even related to you, like a relative. What?
So this one is trying to understand,
Yeah,
how are you bothered
how
by
are
a
bothered?
stranger?
This is a friend. I studied with them. We've been friends for 15 years. So we've bonded, we've shared memories. So whatever happens to them, like your friend can just be sacked from work.
And
And
it
you go home
bothers
and it's
you.
bothering you. I think for me, the way my husband can get to know that I'm carrying a burden of other people in prayer. When we are praying, going to bed, he can clearly hear certain names. Lord, I pray for Fiona. Lord, Fiona is looking for the fruit of the womb. Lord, this one is like, that's when he can know that, oh, you know, Mola Mwagara, or you know. Like, even if he doesn't tell me, but he will hear names popping out of
And
the
he knows these
people who are,
dear to
yeah, who are dear to me. So if anything happens to them, I would
knows
say
it
he
will
will know
bother.
that I am burdened. I am burdened because these people are close to me. So communicate that emotion. We call it emotional expression. Express it on my mukwan. I am sad. It's not about you. It's not that you've done anything.
Now
So
I'm dealing with
I'm
something
just
else.
dealing with something. If you have a reasonable spouse, they'll be able to tell you, is there anything I can do, mukwano? Sometimes they'll be like, can I take you to a movie? Because sometimes we also solicit suggestion, and someone will tell you, no, I don't want to go for a movie. Some of them will get angry. We are talking about marriage. Don't get angry. Whatever you're suggesting, if they're declining
It's not
it,
working for me at the moment.
at that moment it doesn't work. Just know that you've tried and tell yourself, tofuna ntondo kakati toyagala kwagala
Nekyenkugamba kyonna you're
no
refusing.
even just your presence. The Bible shows us that Job, like, I'm one of those counselors who blend Bible and counseling. That's what I love most doing. So the Bible shows us that when the friends of Job saw him from a distance and realized how he was looking, when they came, they kept quiet. Sometimes it's just a presence. Just knowing that Mr. Bwaga is there,
Is
around,
in case of anything.
looking at me. I've had to grieve with my friends, some of my friends, and I would just go to their homes,
Just
and
sit
I
with
find them lied on the floor, on tiles, and sit just there.
You also do that.
And I would just
be
sit there with them, not saying anything, or I would just find what to do in the house. Sometimes you find when the house is a mess, they have
Try
not
to
washed
organize,
dishes in a while. I wash, I clean, I make a meal. Sometimes I get to know they have not eaten in a while, and I'm like, mukwano chimaito yagala kulya, but siva anonga tolide. I call myself a grief partner. I want to carry the burden of people because that's my calling in life, healing. So I will just make a meal for them, and I'm like, ojja kulya bwekiba kyetagisa feedinga nga mwana muto, I'm going to do that, and I do that nga soogedde. And then I will just tell them, okay, have a good night. When I sit with them, when they are sharing with you how you, like, how you impacted their lives in those moments, you even get those goosebumps. Like, I didn't know that was such a huge thing.
So imagine that is your spouse.
Imagine that is your spouse. Just for him to sit there. Even if your wife is crying, be there. Sometimes you will just get her and let her head lie on your thighs, and sometimes you just pass your hands in her hair, or sometimes you just be someone I don't want. It is okay. Just be there, gwemuleke. That's how
let them go through the process.
Yes, let them go through that process. They're trying to manage it. They're trying to unless you see that it's going overboard, and you see that they no longer want to eat, they no longer want to go, because emotional management gives us an opportunity to see that now we are going overboard. They no longer to go to work. They have lost that's when you're like, Makwano, and this is going. We need to do something. I think you now need to see a professional counselor, because also the two of us, you'll be like, you're supposed to be a gamble lover. Don't take it.
So it brings up fights. Instead of
yes. So that's when you'll be like, if you have a pastor, can we go and talk to our pastor? Okay, can we go and talk to a professional? I'm willing even to pay. Because you have, as a partner, you have to really show that you are understanding.
You're trying.
You are doing everything possible. Because sadness can lead into depression.
And that is the next, actually, you preempted them. We talked about some of those emotions, and one of the emotions that keeps coming up, and I think, I don't know, around the circles, we're ignoring it, is that sadness that you've talked about, but the sadness that is unaccounted for. You've talked about the sadness of I've lost someone, but is that sadness that creeps on you and you don't even know where it's coming from, which if it's ignored, usually tends to depression.
Exactly, yeah.
So how do we manage the emotion of sadness tending to depression?
Tending to depression. I love that, because not all sadness lead into depression, but yet again, if we don't handle it properly, it can lead into that. Again, it goes back into recognizing. Are you able to recognize that you are sad? And of course, that sadness can't come from nowhere. That's what we call self-reflection, the ability to see it. When you are getting that wave, kind of sadness can be like a wave, like just there, and you get that thing,
something just
coming over you. Are you able to pause? And it can be a moment, and then it goes away. But are you able to recognize that it's
getting
prolonged? It's stealing all the day. Are you able to recognize that you are no longer interested in the things that you once loved doing? You were a purposeful person who loved showing up at work with this enthusiasm. You no longer want. You just want to stay in the bed the whole day. You don't want to talk to anyone. You don't want to eat. We need to know, where is this coming from? Is it grief bringing this? Because also I need to know how to help you. Because that sadness, we need to know what is bringing it. And usually sadness is more of related to loss. There is a loss somewhere. And loss is not just the loss of a loved one. It could be a loss of a job, money, an opportunity, a friend. Someone can ghost you from nowhere. 2025, you're dealing with ghosting. Someone ghosted you. Tebalina kye bagamba, tebalina bye wabakola. Baasirika tebaagala kumanya. Osingisa message okola biki. They don't want to know. So it could be that, or an investment, all losses. Nasimu. Our friends in the West, when they lose a pet, muntu yafudde. Muntu mulamba afudde, because for them the pets are siblings at home. They are part of their family. So we need to understand, where is this coming from? So as a partner, you need to come in, recognize all those things as a partner. Recognize your spouse. But it's just a one-time thing. Then it disappears. Also have the ability to talk about it. You've been quiet the whole day. We are in this car. Of course, those things happen. It's normal for couples
you to
to
take
be
time off and
just be there. You can be in the car when you're not talking to each other. But nothing going on. It is okay. Not all the time you're going to be talking, but you can see behaviors that are attached to that kind of sadness. You see, you want to go into the things of marriage. Let me use that abstractive language. In the night or any time, you're wondering what has happened. Silent treatment, silent night. As a partner, don't ignore that. No, take courage and ask them, what's going on? Are you okay?
But most of us, sometimes we say, oh, you're what?
And when we say, oh, you're what? That's what we said, celebrating quantity of years in marriage, not quality. Because when you say, how long are you going to be like that in a marriage? Let me tell you, we have so many functional marriages. Functional marriages are marriages, you pay school fees for the children, you pay rent, you buy food, you do everything, but there is no joy at all in that marriage. Mwenna mu nyumba mulinga mulirwana ba Luganda, mweyitako bweyise. Your union only comes when you are into conjugal duties. Only.
If they are still there.
If they are even still there. This is the only time when you can unite as a couple. The rest, school fees abana basasula millioni emu, emmere tugimanyi tulina budget, like there is no conversation at all. Why? Because we said, oh, you're what? No, take courage. Go into their world and ask them. I remember one time my husband asobola kikubuuza kati bw'obanze toyagala kwogera nange about what is bothering you. Nkubire magi. Because somehow it's important for your spouses to know who is your type. Who is your type, Fiona? Mwami mbowa bw'aba tasobola communicating nawe bigambo. Agambe mukwano kati ngende wa maama. Tukubireko ku mama gona abuulirako, because I need you to express this thing.
But now, Molly, people would tell you that we are living in a stressful world. We are living in a very busy world. Where am I getting time to start understanding you? And you see, that's where our marriages go wrong.
Exactly.
Like, say, yeah, I have things to work through. You're not even telling me how to help you. How do we balance the two, the emotions and the busy world that we are in?
I think at the end of the day, Fiona, honestly, let's be honest. There are many people who have worked their head to the toe, and they are into those glamorous houses. We admire some of us, we haven't yet even lived in, but very unhappy. What's the incident? I tell my husband, honest, I'm like, "Nyumba yo jizimba nungi njagala," but we need to be up in that house. Because we have people living such glamorous things. Nagenda mukazigo. Nagamba bana, for the sake of my happiness, for the sake of my joy, kanzirayo mpangisa y'emitwalo 10 to get a sense of sanity. Wano tewali mirembe. So kitugasa ki to run around and make all those monies when waneno fete so sente tezinyumanga temuyina mirembe. So at the end of the day, let's work on our marriages. Understand gendo okole, yes kola, but come to the level and understand. If you are so busy, mubuuze mukwano sikutegeera ennaku zino. Bwemba sisobola, at least let me pay for counseling. Nsobola okusasulira counseling and you go talk to this eating coach, Molly. Namulabye ku TV, let me pay, you go talk to her. Because honestly speaking, we can't keep on doing like this. We can, because especially if you have children as well, you are going to project this to the children. Those are children we have right now, grown-ups who don't want to get married. Like for me, they saw, and like, and there is nothing good about marriage. Me, I saw my mom always, what am I looking for? I am happy the way I am. Yet you want your children to get married. You presented that to them, that marriage is always sad. So we need to balance it. Prioritize it. We need to work and agree that we need to be okutekamu amaanyi. But recognize, look at your partner. Fiona, I'm sure your husband right now knows your normalcy, like your normal state of mind. That me, I have this. I love being really experience the goodness of God, and this world is a gift to us. I want to enjoy it. I want to feel in this air and I breathe it. I want to look at that tree and I'm like, God, you created. I know. So I am always this person who comes out. My energy comes off even. So I want my husband. I want my partner to get to know that normalcy. So when you see a difference for long, please be mindful. Because
have you ever wondered how many of our spouses actually know us at the normal? Like, and for our viewers, I just want you to pause and actually think.
Yes.
Do you know the normal for your spouse? Do you know how your wife is when she's okay?
Exactly.
So that you can, because you cannot point out something you don't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
How will you point out that she's not okay when you don't know what
you
okay
don't
is?
know?
So today, homework, please. What is your spouse's
normal range
when she's okay? What is she like?
Simple things. Some of the things, simple things, let me give them to you. It could be what she loves eating most. A person like me who loves fish, chicken. I love being out when I'm a very busy person, but one of the things that calm me down is just being out. I can even just move out in the night, just looking at the stars, or go out for a movie, or I love being with friends, yes, my tight friends, you know. I love seeing people happy. So I am purposeful. Like I'm a type of person, if I ever lose a sense of purpose, my husband should know that she's losing it. I am very purpose driven. So those are some of the things you can know. No gamba, but if you're not yet Mola ayagala apple, those are things I love. Apple, cashew nuts, chocolate. You need to ask yourself what's going on. A whole week your chocolate, because you can know. So jingle ila nenjiteka ku TV stand. Nemala week number. You need to wonder. Oh no, more ku chocolate. Nkaleta na kamala wo mululya lumuntu batukyanyaawo. Before you like akamazeewo. Kakati what happened?
What has happened?
So and that's when you get to know that omuntu ono bino ebintu bino jagamba na what's the time to do all that. But it's for you to enjoy the gift of marriage. Why are we getting married? Kuzaala buzazi, tuyina surrogacy, tuyina bino ebintu bizze, abazungu batuleetedde ebintu bingi abantu basobola ozaala nga sifumbiddwa. Then kati awo tuba tugenda into that route. That wema njagala mwana Fiona, can you get a child without being married? Bize
Yes, that is the truth.
that's the
The
truth.
sad
We really
truth.
yes, it's sad, but it's there. So we get married beyond just giving birth, beyond just era ne katonda yabituwa companionship, pleasure, byonna mwebiri mu Bible. It is beyond omukazi okuzaalira. It's for you to do life with this person
And enjoy
and
it, not just
enjoy
doing
it,
it
not
for
just
doing.
doing it.
Yes, I think that is actually
So
important.
know the normals of your partner. Omanye nti kati mwami wange avuddeko, wano aba avuddeko. Era that's when you start asking yourself, mukwano, are you okay? Ng'olinga asirise nnyo. That's when they'll be able to tell you, omulimu guntwala. Oh, I'm a bit scared. Something is happening. Something strange is happening at work. And if you're a prayerful woman, there are moments I've told my husband, I'm going to fast on your behalf. Ekyo kindekere. Ngenda kikwasaganya. And I will not lie. I will launch deeper. Nachimanya. Era sometimes I will tell him, I've started the fasting. Besides this, what? Give me the details of what you're struggling with. How do I go deeper into this one? You know. So that's when you're like, I married right. You know, because I care. Your burden is my burden. But when you reach in a marriage where your burden is your burden,
It doesn't concern
it doesn't
you.
concern you. God, you need help. Eh? Let me look into the camera. You need help. So try and do this work. Try, know the normalcy and come in. Fio no kusanganga weba kamubuliri wiki number. And if it's grief, because also we understand that times and seasons. You could have lost a tight person, like a couple that has lost a child, or things that men underlook. Womb loss, or let we call it womb loss, a miscarriage. 6 months, even if it's one week.
Yes, it's
The
a
fact that
loss.
there was the moment a woman gets to know that I am expecting, there is an emotional attachment we start getting. You get? So even if that miscarriage is 1 week, hey husband, please be there for this woman.
Yes, because these are things we actually ignore.
Exactly, be there. So that can cause her to be in a bed for a whole month.
And you don't understand. It was just,
Just
one
1
week.
week. That wasn't
Kante
a human.
kanawela na
My
kuwela.
dear, in my mind, that was a human
was
being.
even
I had
given
already
a name.
I'd already started seeing the future. That's how we are going to be. I'll take this one. You like all those things. For you, you're not literally experiencing probably you because you not have it. But me, and even 1 week, there are people who have had pregnancies, complicated pregnancies. 1 week, they're throwing up. They are what? I have people, friends, who crawl just 1 week pregnancy. I have all that pain, all that she went, you can't ignore it and be like, 1 week on that can cost you a marriage. Because this woman will know. This one doesn't understand.
care
It
about
doesn't
me.
care at all.
So what you're talking about brings in an element of vulnerability.
Exactly, yeah.
Someone will say, I'm overexposing myself, I'm being too vulnerable. And especially our husbands
Yeah.
do not want anything to do with vulnerability.
Yeah.
So maybe we talk a little about that to the men. Because you're talking about how to express my emotion.
Yep.
And the ladies actually
Yeah.
will express their
Yeah,
emotions.
they do.
But the men are all closed down. And you find even when men go out to talk to friends, they don't talk about their issues. They talk about football, they talk about what, and they go back home with their emotions. So how do we help our husband become a little more vulnerable to share some of those emotions? You have someone, he loses a mother and walks it off,
Yeah.
you know?
Wow, it's so beautiful. Emotions and men. It's one of the things. In one of the things I teach, I love talking about. Men, you are normal human beings, very normal human beings. So
Do they know? I don't think they know they are normal.
they will tell us, we have a man here, they will tell us.
Mm.
But men are very normal human beings. Allow your soul to express your emotions because you think you're not expressing, but they're actually expressing, but in an unhealthy way. These are men who beat their women. These are men who project at workplaces. These are men who humanize.
As a way of expressing
As a way
themselves.
of dealing with these pains they are having. Because when these pains come out, emotions are evoked. You know, they show up. So as ways of dealing with these pains, to suffocate and suppress these emotions, they'll start sleeping around. There are many people who are struggling with infidelity today in their marriages. And it started as a result of a breakdown that happened, an emotional pain
Communication.
that happened. And this man, because he couldn't express how he's feeling, he wouldn't talk about the pain of losing a child, how it is taking a toll on him. It just went out. Because for him thinking, if I sleep around, I am dealing with it. There are people who started drinking, men who started drinking when they were not drunkards, but they started, and today they are addicted because they wanted to deal with this pain, you know.
And the best way they knew how was
to drink. So guys, you express, don't even say you don't. You express, but in a wrong way. So today, let's learn that it is okay for you, especially your partner. It is okay. And that's what we said, a pattern recognizing. If you're a wife married to such a man, and you're going through that turmoil, there is a loss that has happened, a child, or your husband has lost a job or an investment, come in and let him know that, Anna, I am here. Even when you're not talking about it, I honestly know that this is painful. If I can feel the pain, me.
Now
imagine you. Let him know that you are feeling for him, and if you're able, you can ask him, how can I grieve with you? How can I mourn with you? How can I help? Sometimes they'll tell you, no, I'm okay. You tell him, don't push. You're like, okay, Annie, I know you're saying you're okay, but I also know you are human. I know. I'm here. Just tell them that this is an open book. I am here. Whenever you feel down, just count on me. Let them know that you are here. Don't ngaba twagambe. You will deal with it. Oyo what? Mugumu. Se mugumu. Muntu. Oyo muntu. So let him know that you are here for him. But men, normalize talking about it with your spouse. Also,
okay.
get a friend. It doesn't make you weak. Because statistics show that women idealize suicide. But attempts, those who really act on them, men are more. Women, we have those suicide ideations. Like, and then even men, they do. But men act more onto them than women. Why? Because women, we can babble.
She'll go and talk about it and develop
what? No chivako. Yes, the pain will be there, but women have a tendency that the things we've not talked about, I think we shall talk about them another time. There are many techniques like journaling. Women, we have a tendency. You can just go and start writing about exactly how you feel. A man will be like, no, you're also human, you're feeling the pain, you know. So maybe next time when we come, we shall talk about those techniques. But in this, for men, normalize being vulnerable. It's not a sign of weakness. Get your tight body, and actually that will be your wife. If not your wife, because like we said, you're struggling under emotion, you fear. In the first 2 months, she will start running around like a headless chicken. My God, what and what? Instead of being like, God,
we can
go through this. You know? Get a man. Trust a man. But also normalize counseling, please. Normalize it. I know men who are going through grief, but you can't even really openly say, I am dying. The loss of your mom.
Cry.
Yeah, the loss of your mom, the loss of your child. That's why. The loss of a wife. We have men who have lost their wives, and you remarried immediately as a woman, suffocating, suppressing this pain, and later they call you counselor. This is not a woman. I don't want this woman. Because for you, you thought you are replacing. We don't replace people. No. So you did it wrongly. So look for help and get professional counseling. We can help you. And it's not being weak. You need to live happy.
It's a sign of strength, actually.
You need to live happy. You need to enjoy this life. You need to learn to live, because life is a cocktail. We have the happy moments. We have the sad moments. And we learn. That's why I tell people, I'm here to build resilience in people. We learn to live with these two forces, happiness and sad. We learn to live with all of them.
And what's amazing, sadly we have to come to the end of this show. But I also thought we need to talk, I think, as you said, I think we need to have another conversation about this. Even the happy moments, the people's marriages that have been ruined by this one is too excited that they have given away everything in the house, you know. So we need also to know how to manage even the positive emotions.
Yes, exactly.
Otherwise we can lose it all.
Yeah, tulina abaswaziza bannaffe gwe bw'osanyuka, like you were in a meeting, omukazi asanyuka nnyo kwegamba omusajja nasiganga alibwa.
So as we come to the end of this conversation, I just want you to give a closing remark for our viewers on how to manage our emotions, especially my emphasis is on the marriage, because yes, we're talking about marriage, but together, how do we handle them together,
Together.
as a parting
Yeah.
shot?
So other parting shots, we talked about communication. Let's not abandon each other. We have a tendency of the silent treatments. We have a tendency of namamanyiro yo bwatyo. We've come to an agreement of living unhappy marriages.
We are comfortable
We are
with the
comfortable with functional marriages because the school fees are paid, because food is paid, because rent is paid, because they have bought a car, because you have all these things. Those things you think are the ones that are making life. We have people who have committed suicide with all those things. We have people, last year, people threw themselves from off buildings, big buildings, rich people. They wouldn't do that, all those things, if all
if
those
they were
things
enough.
were the epitome of life. Life is much more than all those things. So let's work on our marriages with fear and trembling. I think I should do that. With fear and trembling. Honor your marriage, love it, and look out for each other.
Thank you very much, my dear, and thank you very much for your time, and for our viewers. Thank you for joining us on this journey and this conversation. And as she has said, I can just only re-echo it. People, we are emotional beings. So denying the emotions does not take them away. They are there. The best thing we can do is to see how to manage them. And as spouses, as we said our homework, find out what is the normal of your wife. Is she chatty, is she quiet, or your husband? And then know when she has gone off the normal and see how to bring her back. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Fiona Mbowa here at Church of Uganda Family TV with Ring Diaries.